Action. Okay. Action. So what's action in Spanish? Oh, anyway. So L action. Anyway. So server 1, I'm starting domain controller. Server 2, I'm starting. And let's go ahead with what VPN has to offer. We're gonna try to talk about the main things. There are books on VPN. There are huge chapters on VPN. We need to know exactly what's the main thing about VPN, and then we go ahead. So 3 stages of remote access connections. There could be, we're going to discuss that. Then there is NAT, which is network address translation. By now in Cisco you must have gone through this. Then there's remote access service, that's in Windows. Oh, there's internet connection sharing, that's just not, it's just topic for sharing internet connection, but it's not much used anymore. Remote access service, and then VPN protocols. So if I go to 3 stages of remote access, so first the companies make connection with each other, make a physical connection between the two parties. So New York office to Toronto office, suppose. The data should be encrypted and protocols are decided. So when I say encryption, what do you mean by encryption? What is encryption? Yeah, correct. Okay, anyone else? Since nobody's talking, like, huh? From telepathy, I received a definition from someone here. Okay, so encryption. Scrambling, exactly. But what were you saying? Other than scrambling, yeah.
Hey, you told the same.
You were both scrambling, right?
No, it's not a plain text.
It's not a plain text. Why? So why change? Why?
What type of encryption method we use?
Okay.
On that, it will get more complicated or less complicated.
So if we use more complicated encryption, what do we mean by that? What did we exactly do with that? Secure what? Data. How? Okay, I'm a hacker and I'm exactly targeting your data coming from, you're connecting from your home and connecting to your company. And I'm the hacker. I know you're gonna send an email today between 3 to 6, and I'm just sniffing your data, every data that's coming from your connection. But you know that your data is strongly encrypted. What does that mean?
The hacker cannot receive anything from that data it received. That's already encrypted. Cannot decrypt it.
The hacker cannot decrypt, or can take very long time to decrypt until it's no use.
It depends on the hacker.
Depends on the geniusosity of hacker. That's a new word I just created just now. Geniusosity. Okay, but exactly when you send an email, suppose, and I'm sniffing your email. So sniffers do what? They catch your packets, all the packets coming from your network interface card, from your PC or from your home connection, and all the packets are downloaded. Try Wireshark for that, or there are many other sniffers. Just Google sniffers. Oh, I'm recording that. Shoot. Anyway, so and then all the packets, if they are encrypted, then I have so many advanced decrypting tools, and I must have a very good quad core or even much better computer that has a very powerful CPU and very good memory, so it could really start decrypting faster. So I should have a supercomputer, and I should have a very strong decrypting software after I go cut through the securities on every packet. So the main thing is that the data is converted to rubbish, or it's not understandable anymore, the data, and how in depth it is converted. It depends on how strong your encryption is, and the more time it will take. Sometimes you say, hey, it cannot be decrypted. No way. Those geniuses who have created those encryptions, they also need to decrypt the data, right? So they must have created the decrypting tools as well. So there are other geniuses also who knows how to decrypt the same thing quickly. So it depends on if you have very good machines and very good decrypting software, and even there are so many free software now that can decrypt fast, and they can decrypt so many levels of encryptions. So good luck with security. So that's why we say any level of security is not enough. You say I'm secure now that I have state-of-the-art, most expensive security mechanisms installed in my network. No way. Those who create those, there are those who can go through that, penetrate those as well. So never rely on, you should keep a human eye on everything as well. Data is encrypted, it's turned into rubbish, so it's not understandable if the hacker tries to read that without decrypting it. Second thing is protocols are decided. So there are many protocols that will be decided before or during the connection is being made. So those protocols we're going to discuss now, which will show us how security is a big deal and what level of securities we have around the internet. Authentication, so connection through when two companies are connecting, they would say, hey, what level of, so New York branch, or maybe there's another company you're doing a collaboration with. So there's a Toyota and then there's a BMW. Those two makers are trying to collaborate on some hybrid car or flying car. So they're just saying, hey, we want to communicate, our scientists want to communicate with your scientists, so let's have our networks connected to each other. But hey, we in Toyota, we are using a high level of encryption. We're going to know about that too, and what level of encryption you're doing. So when they say, BMW says, oh, we are doing medium level of encryption, so we're going to name those encryptions as well. So Toyota would say, I'm not doing business with you unless your security measures or mechanisms are exactly the same as ours. So that's how important it is for you to make a business. You must improve your security mechanisms, and state-of-the-art security should be applied there in your companies. That would be the basic thing that each company would see before trying to exchange data with each other. So we're going to discuss about all those. Then the authentication comes, identify who they are, username, passwords, and certificates. Anyone knows what's a certificate in IT context?
Yes. A file.
It's a small file.
Permission the client to connect to our website.
So it's like a 45 KB, 60 KB file, yeah?
It's a hash digitally signed.
Which does what?
It is do authentication. What is
So certificates do two things. Authentication,
three things.
okay, three things. Number one.
Authentication and non-repudiation
Okay,
and the other encryption.
encryption. So can you tell me what's non-repudiation?
So it's like let's say my boss say, oh, your salary is increased, but
Yeah.
he was drunk that time, and next day he says sorry. So he cannot say no. It is digitally signed.
Oh, so you need to trust it if the certificate is there, otherwise you
So
cannot
he
trust
cannot
that.
say no, that is not me. Who sent
Yeah,
me there?
yeah, I didn't say that yesterday. So, okay, let's talk about that. It's coming. Authorization. So 3 stages. Connectivity. During that, you say, hey, what's your encryption? Company A, I'm company B. And second thing is, what protocols are you implying or applying, not implying, applying there? Then authentication. Let's talk about authentications. I'm gonna send you the certificate, and you're gonna send me your certificate, so our users can connect to you, and your users can connect to us. And then there's authorization, what they can access. Hey, you can just access our operations going on in any other city, specific city, and not all other cities. You can not have access to that. Then there are IP filters, that from these IP range, whatever traffic is coming, we're going to be accepting. Other than that, we're not going to accept any other traffic. NTFS permissions, yes, your shared folder should be secured with NTFS permissions. Everyone group should be removed, and then only specific people should be added. We tried to, did we do forest trust?
No.
We just checked the forest.
We checked forest trust.
How come?
No, we checked from parent to
That is not a forest. It is within the forest.
domain and trust.
So forest trust, did we do that?
No. We have only one forest thing.
All right, that's good, not good. Okay, so NTFS permissions. So we're gonna do VPN and then we're gonna try to do that. Guys, I have been asking for last 2-3 weekends. Do you have those machines which you've used in the test, or do you have
We
those?
have only those now.
Okay, good.
I need the rest of
So
that one doesn't
the
make
ones before where we created child domain and tree domain should not be there now. You should not be using for today's labs and next, right? Am I el correcto? That's in wrong Spanish. It's not correct. Is it correct or not?
Yeah, we don't have. Yeah, but the exam machine, there are also child domain.
Exam machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
You need the child
but
domain?
I did ask to create snapshots for on the correct areas. So yeah, about that also.
screenshot, right?
So what's the difference between snapshot and screenshot? So I was like, in 3 emails, please make snapshots at the right places. And I started receiving so many screenshots of the things. And I was like, oh, what did I say? And I didn't realize. I thought, hey, wow, they're sending me screenshots. Wow. And then I thought, then somebody told me, hey, they're confused about snapshot and screenshot. And then it hit me like, oh, shoot. That's why I was getting those and I never asked those. So snapshot is this, each machine, right click, snapshot, take snapshot. What does it do? It saves the configuration at that point, whatever configuration was there. And what is screenshot? Print screen, if I do that. Or if I have a software like this, it's gonna take a picture of the screen. So is there a difference between the two? Big difference. So there's a huge difference between snapshot and screenshot since they both have shot at the end. So that may be mighty confusing. So yeah, I should define when I say that because it's gonna save you huge time. Whenever I ask you, hey, create new machines, go back to that snapshot. I was gonna be saying screenshot. No, snapshot. So so I have these snapshot manager here. If I want to go back, I have snapshot 1. It says AD installed and activated. Okay, I want a domain controller that only has Active Directory installed and DNS installed. That's all. Good. So I saved it after I was sure that it is activated and only AD and DNS is installed. So now I can go back instead of creating new machines every time. I'm just going back to this. I never have to create this again, from the basic network. Okay, my member server, does it have a snapshot? Yes, it does. Where it is? Snapshot is join the domain and activate it. Exactly. I need just a member server that is activated and just joined to the domain. That's all. So now I would never have to create a new machine.
I took a snapshot of my machine, but I didn't write anything. How will I find out what I did?
Just go back to that, and I think you can write even now.
Yeah.
So if I can do blah blah blah, yeah, see, I can write
I
even
just
now.
scroll down and
Yeah, so click that snapshot, go to the description, and now write which state was it in, so you would know which snapshot you're going back
go
to.
back to that snapshot. What will happen to my
Yeah, you have to take another to come back. Okay, so this is mucho crucial. Why? Because next class is it's not a second last class, right? Next class. So I need to just really start looking at my two left, right? So next is the second last class, right? Next Saturday is the second last class. So we will be using only new machines, because if you have any other roles installed, although it should not do anything wrong with that, but clustering is very sensitive process. It finds any mistake, it's not gonna let you go ahead.
So we have clones.
How many machines we should have?
For so next Saturday, machines should be either you go back to the snapshot or machines should be totally clean. Active Directory, domain controller, and 3 member servers. That's it. Nothing installed. Even if you have something installed, it's better to have. If you have touched it for any other lab, don't use it for clustering lab. We need totally 4 new machines for clustering. Clustering is very sensitive process. It's if it gives you any troubleshooting That's we won't be able to solve at that time. It's a very long process as well.
On the DC will have only the.
So one DC, 3 member servers joined to the domain, activated, all 4 activated. Take a screenshot or snapshot? Snapshot at that time. Oh, you're so excited about. I really need to learn clustering. Okay, it's about high availability. Your application is sitting on 2 servers, and it's borrowing disks from a third storage server. And if any of the 2 server crashes physically, then the users who are connected, they will never know that something crashed in the background. It will fail over to the other machine. That's clustering. Huh? High availability. Clustering is all about high availability. The application is highly available even if the physical machine crashes. It's highly available.
Are we going to have the same IP using the same IP? One IP
They
for
are
the
doing
server?
something else.
Okay, the technical details are dedicated for that one class, but there will be one virtual IP. One IP that is called VIP, and that will be not connected to any physical thing. Where it's
You're gonna assign any IP or anything like that.
so IP addresses exactly the same as the first day.
Just from the hour we need.
192.168.0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, right?
In the practical real life, when you do the clustering, you do in the running machine, everything has.
So we're gonna plan that day. If your basic infrastructure is perfect, then we're gonna start doing the lab one by one step. Then there will be actually 2 extra network cards added, and their IPs will be different. But I don't want you to put that now.
How you will do it, and that's the requirement in the practical.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what we're doing is exactly how you do.
Cannot be anything on the machine
Yeah.
before we do the clustering.
Yeah.
So once you do that,
It's always recommended to not have anything else where you're doing clustering. It's always recommended that, even in production environment. Yeah.
you have to treat it really well, otherwise you will go to VMware.
No, it's the clustering that I put all my effort on, and the grand test is all about clustering. Not all about whatever we have studied from start till end. The grand test will have the most annoying things only. I'll make sure you're like
But thanks for your explanation. Right now, I can understand why they are clustering the VMware.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, okay. No, clustering logic is different there, but still, no. Main logic is you can afford to lose a physical host there. Here you can afford to lose one physical machine.
But
Basic concept is same.
But here we use the word cluster to group.
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
container.
And it can have 4 actually hosts there. So yeah, it has its own requirements. VMware and Microsoft has its own requirements, right? So we're gonna talk a lot about clustering. Huh? What? Final exam is on the final day. That's why it's final exam. Okay. So yeah, it's the last day. You cannot afford to miss that. Otherwise, the whole effort of start.
Final exam next 4 weeks, right?
The final exam is on
Because we have a 3.
the final day of OS. So we have second last class next Saturday. After, no, according to Malik's calculations, we have 2 classes left. According to your calculation, we have 3 classes left. So we need to have some decision making. Or I'll just see I'm just too lazy to see my calendar. I'll just see my calendar. Huh? Oh, we have 5. Okay. Yeah, right. Now I need to see my calendar. Anyway, let's go ahead, guys. We have spent too much time for nothing. Network address translation. What is NAT? It's converts public IP to private IP. There are 3 ranges of private IPs. It's not written here. Okay, good. So what are the 3 ranges? Cisco people. You all are. AVC, exactly. What are the 3 private ranges? Yes. So 10.0.0, then 172.16.0.0. 172.16. 32. and then 192.168
The whole
dot zero dot zero, right?
yeah.
So why are private ranges? What's the difference between private and public?
Number of hosts you can use.
Free. Money.
That's the difference. Money, el money. I need to, translate everything in Spanish. Okay, I'm using just L before everything. Okay. Anyway,
We'll make it matter of fact.
ma'arufa. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I should. Okay, what is internet connection sharing? Yeah.
Oh, that is something that doesn't work because I tried it.
So we first of all, where is internet connection sharing? We have Windows XPs, Windows 7s. So if I go quickly to one of that, okay, computer. Oh, to my network card here, and go to Open Network Sharing Center, and then go. This is my Windows 7 or XP or 8 or whichever network card you have. If you go to that network card, and you go to Properties, then you go to Advanced. Oh, you don't have to go to the Sharing tab is there, right? So your laptop becomes
The router.
a router that shares internet.
But
We don't need it nowadays. Why?
I wanted it because I didn't have a Wi-Fi router last month. So I tried this for 2 days.
Hey, which world are you living in? There was a flyby from Pluto.
I just had the modem, so I did
Okay.
this.
If you don't have a wireless modem from your ISP, then you can make your laptop which has just one cable and and receiving internet from that cable from your router. Then you can share that internet connection with everyone else. This could become your router, right? In that case, you don't have a Wi-Fi. Yep. So you click it and then press OK and expect it to work, and whatever traffic you want to enable here, you can start playing with it as long as you know that, oh, there's a sharing tab and there are not many options there. So just Google it or YouTube it, and your all step by step will be there, right? So there is this thing called internet connection sharing. Now we know that, but it's not mucho importante. So let's go ahead with the more mucho importante things. Internet connection sharing, it is used in small offices or homes. Used to be used in small offices. Now everyone has DSL routers, right? So shares internet from Windows with all other computers. Okay, routing and remote access services. This is in Windows 2003, 2008, 2012 servers. There were two types. Dial-up was used with a modem. Anyone has used dial-up connection? So we are all like whoever is 40 years old or near 40 years, they could raise their hand now. Now everyone will be like, oh, okay. They will know that I'm 40 years now. Okay. Hey, I thought you were young. Come on. I'm so sad that you're 40 years. Come on. So you're not 41 and you still use that. You're 38, right? So I said around 40. So whoever is around 40 will raise hand. So everyone is like, okay, no. 31. You still used? Hey, which area you were living in? That's the second attack on you.
Far from Pluto.
Now we are still sad that you were. Okay. That area was like, come on. Which area? Second attack. Okay, yeah.
The broadband fails internet, the data is still there.
Yeah, exactly. It could be even in all the areas where there are very good technology, and you can still use dial-up, and there are still places on the planet Earth and on Pluto where there's dial-up. Yeah.
They use data in almost everywhere. Because I work in different retailers, and they have the backup connection with the data.
That's a backup connection for dial-up. So this means the server side, the company side also is receiving, they have a number dedicated to dial-up connections, incoming dial-up connections, which is good. So it is still being used. And nowadays VPN is used as DSL is common. RRAS needs to be protected, or remote access service in Windows need to be protected, as thousands of connections are made in large organizations. So we know that we can connect from DSL connections. So there's a DSL router in New York, there's a DSL router in Toronto, and we can connect with each other if we have the proper IP addressing and VPN connection. But the thing is, yes, you can connect through dial-up, through VPN, but is it secure? That's the main thing. After, yes, we can connect, but should we connect? Are we secure enough to connect? Can we share documents over the WAN and think, yes, they are safely shared right now? And that's where the problem starts. So what is a VPN connection? You can connect to anywhere from your home through VPN. We're going to create a VPN. We're going to set a criteria for our lab. It's a LAN, so we cannot have a WAN right now. We're going to assume that there's a WAN. But the VPN connection, if it is working, it will give you exact those features that you're supposed to have when you're actually connecting to a company VPN.
Can you use a local host as a WAN?
Yeah, we assume that it's a WAN because we're gonna give a 10 range. We have a 192 range network. We're gonna give the VPN connection a 10 range. So that's how it will, and it's supposed to connect perfectly with our 192 network if it's a VPN connection, because it's gonna start routing between each other. We're gonna create a simple router, Windows router today. So it's gonna route between two different ranges. So there are protocols there. Tunneling protocols. What is a tunnel? What do you mean by tunnel in VPN? Pipe, exactly. Eurotunnel, under the water, the train goes between France and England, right? That's also a pipe. Looks like a pipe. Yeah. You like pipes, right? Okay, big pipe. Pipe, straw. Okay, yeah.
Dedicated connection.
Dedicated. Okay, so dedicated connection, but there is something more to it. It's a secure, dedicated tunnel. So there's a highway between everyone. So that's internet. But you have a secure tunnel created between just your house and your company and just your other branch to your branch. So it's very secure. The connection has encryption. The connection has another feature called, or a protocol called IPsec. This is very, very strong. Okay, let's just remove one very. This is very strong. Because there are geniuses around the planet, they hear us saying very, very strong, and they're just going to 5 minutes. Okay, there's your data. Is that what you were sending? Huh? Okay. Huh?
It was strong.
Yeah, it used to be very, very strong few minutes earlier until proven wrong. So why is it strong? I'm gonna go to my forum that I created where I am putting all the definitions as well. So I've cut that definition of why IPsec is strong. So let's go ahead. There are protocols. PBTP is point-to-point tunneling protocol. That was Microsoft proprietary protocol, and then there is L2. So let's go ahead. These are the 4 protocols. Let's go a little detail of those protocols. There are VPN protocols, point-to-point tunneling protocol. It's developed by Microsoft, supported by most Microsoft operating systems. Supports only TCP/IP or no other. And there is a port that you have to enable in the firewall, which is 1723. What are we talking about right now? When we say VPN protocols, where exactly they are being used right now? Between who and who, or what stage? So there are stages. Company A is connecting to company B. Company A makes a connection to company B, and then the company A shares document with company B, and then company A and B disconnect their connection. So when they are making a connection, is that when these protocols are being used, or when the connection is made and the actual data is to be shared, then these protocols are being used? So what stage are these protocols being used?
Both stages.
Sorry?
Both stages.
On both stages, you're saying? Yeah?
All of them.
All of them. So when you create a connection, at that time they are negotiating. Hey, what protocol you have? Oh, I have PBTP. Oh, that's like old school. That's like old protocol. It doesn't even have the latest security measures. And so company B supports PBTP, and it's trying to make a connection with that protocol to the company A network. And the company A says, hey, I support L2TP and IPsec. Do you have that? And the company A says, no, I just have PBTP. So company B says, hey, upgrade your security measures. L2TP/IPsec is very strong. If you're not connecting with us with the security of L2TP IPsec, we are not making connection with you at all. if you're connecting with us with PBTP, that's not very strong. This protocol does not offer much security. When you want to make connectivity, hackers can attack easily, and when you're trying to share data, the encryption is not that strong. The data will be decrypted easily with current machine power. So two companies are making connection, and they're facing, hey, what kind of security you have? I have this, or I have this. SSTP is using certificates. You know, it's related to SSL. Anyone heard SSL? And it is used where? It has a port number called. It uses a port number 443, and HTTP to HTTPS. When any website converts to HTTPS, it's the SSTP protocol being used, or it's the certificates being used. SSTP also uses the certificates between when the two companies are making connectivity. So in ICAV, we're gonna come there. It's just for, you know, when you're hopping between one network connection to another network connection, and you want the network connectivity, you want the VPN protocol to be connected wherever you go. So you go from McDonald's, then you go to another Tim Horton, and the VPN will connect you again. So that's ICAV, Ike v2. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and check that. So point-to-point protocol is by Microsoft. It is not that secure. L2TP, so it's a L2TP layer 2 tunneling protocol, more better encryption than PBTP, and open standard. It's not Microsoft proprietary, and supports multiple protocols, not just TCP/IP. What are other multiple protocols it supports? TCP, Apple Talk. Does Linux have a protocol? There's a Nets bind. IBM has a protocol. IPX, SPX. So any other protocol it supports. So L2TP has more encryption. Second thing, it is created by who? Cisco came up with that. L2TP. Can use IPsec for encryption, requires certificates. So IPsec this is the second time IPsec is mentioned in my slide. So we need to know what is IPsec. Internet Protocol Security. Sec is security, but what does it do? So the ports are 1701, TCP port, and UDP port is 500. TCP is Transmission Control Protocol. UDP is User Datagram Protocol. TCP has three-way handshake. So when you send a data to someone with TCP, it makes sure the data has reached. It requires an acknowledgement. Hey, did it reach or not? UDP, you close your eyes and your direction should be correct. Okay, elbows. I don't care the data reached or not. Okay, anyway, so the guys outside will think this. Hey, is it teacher or what? Okay, anyway, so I'm like, maybe I would just do that. I'll go, whoa. So, yeah, it's a one-man show also. So anyway, okay, what is IPsec? Now IPsec you will see in every slide. So I'll just quickly go to, and I'm not promoting my forum at International Courses where you should be joined. And, oh, it's recording. Okay, so I'll just go for search. I just created for myself actually to see all the resources, and see I'm looking at those resources now. Like I can go for Kerberos IPsec. Okay, what is IPsec? Especially, so we are communicating. Company A is communicating over the WAN with company B. So this is the wild internet, the most unsecure thing network in the world is internet. All hackers are just waiting for you to send the document. So IPsec can be used in protecting data flows between a pair of host to host. So it can protect between a pair of security gateways, network to network. So host to host, computer to computer, network to network, between two branches, or between security gateway and a host from home to your company, right? That's the three ways we make connections anyway. But what does it do and how does it secure? So IPsec uses cryptographic security services to protect communications over internet protocol networks, IP networks. So here is the main thing. IPsec supports network level peer authentication. Who's peer? What server are you connecting to right now? So it needs to know what server or network level, what switches and routers you're connecting to. Data origin authentication. Can you just translate these three words? Data origin authentication. Where is the data originating from? It identifies or verifies the source. Hey, we are supposed to receive data from New York server 003, and is it the same server that we are receiving the data now, or is it different? So data IPsec does what? Data origin authentication. Then IPsec does the second thing, data integrity. Anyone can tell me now? What is that?
Change.
The data is not modified or changed. So data origin, first IPsec sees that, then data has been modified or not. Third thing, data confidentiality. What is that? Or what is the difference between data integrity and data confidentiality?
Is that CRC data integrity?
Sorry?
Because whatever chip said and whatever we receive has that
So integrity is it modified or not? And then there is data confidentiality, that has somebody tried to attack it or decrypt it at any time? Was the data attacked? Was there an attempt tried on that at all? And replay protection. Fourth security is this. What do you mean by replay protection? Can somebody replay our data?
Yes.
So what's the scenario here?
Let's say somebody logged into a website, so he enters username password, so somebody captures the data, so he doesn't know username, he doesn't try to decrypt, he just replay the same data. So
Session.
He already he just logged in the same.
So it's stealing the session of the user. So you are trying to buy something on eBay and somebody steals your connectivity, your connectivity going on, you get disconnected, but the hacker gets connected with your credentials. Hey, I'm that guy who's trying to buy that huge machine, $5,000, and can you just go ahead and click checkout, and that's the address. Oh no, sorry, session is there and I'm the original owner is trying to reconnect. Okay, what's going on? And the other guy who's hacker is like putting the new address there, and then the machine, $5,000 machine, is just sent to his address, and then so replaying the session means that the original user is disconnected and the other user replays the same session and act as, hey, I'm that user you were talking to, and we had a network glitch. Sorry. So much fun, right? No. Okay. Oh, it's recording. So that's not good. Yeah. So IPsec, data origin authentication, data integrity, data confidentiality, and replay protection. IPsec does 4 things to verify if it is a safe connection to receive, right? So IPsec is very strong, and the good thing about Windows 2012 R2 is, with Windows Firewall, now IPsec is integrated in 2012. It was not integrated, it was just a firewall in Windows 2008. Now in 2012, IPsec plus firewall is there for every Windows server platform.
No questions on that.
Yeah.
And the VPN port 1723 or 1701. That is another question.
There was a question there coming, that what is the VPN port? That's good.
And IPsec. 3 questions.
There was IPsec as well? Question
New
about it?
question. New questions.
Okay, in the new questions, okay. These protocols can be changed with. So we're going to do the lab, and inside there will be a list of protocols. Hey, you want to put this protocol in the server side, and then we're going to play with the client side as well. That client supports which type of protocol, and server supports which type of protocols, right?
Yeah, there's a firewall between us.
Yeah. So we will not have a firewall. But if you want to put a firewall there, then you just have to add these ports there because these machines will communicate. So add those ports. So we need to know those ports. So that's why it's telling if you enable PPTP, the port is 1723. If you're using this protocol, more secure protocol, it is 1701. And so I had another interview on this Thursday, and they called me for the second interview. First there was a call, and it was a HR lady, non-technical, but she was asking very difficult questions. What is KCC, and it does how does it communicate, and what are the underlying features of KCC? So we talked about KCC, and I actually taught KCC and knowledge consistency checker. What does it do? And I was like, oh, okay. And yes, it is. Then I thought a little, what was that? Oh, then yeah, I started KCC is this. So they go for the in-depth concepts. Then when they said, okay, tomorrow there's a technical test. I thought on the phone that was a technical. I was all pretty technical already. Tomorrow you can come for the technical. So I thought they will make me do hands-on. So I said, okay, bring it on. But then they put another paper there and more difficult questions there. Again, in-depth Active Directory and DHCP and DHCP DORA process, and then there was failover clustering, some questions about that. So I was like, whoa, if I had not done that, gone through that in the course, or not teaching that. So there was another guy who, he was pretty much clueless at many of the questions. I was like doing like this, and he was like, and I was like, so because we're fresh, I just studied those. So anyway, the ports were, they asked the port for DNS, terminal services, and for ports LDAP or Active Directory. So what's the port of Active Directory with which Active Directory communicates with each other? It is 3. The first number is 3. What is the second number? 89, 389. What is the DNS port? 53. What is, okay, FTP telnet. Anyway, you need to know ports. And there was someone who was asking, hey, can you send me all the ports? So even one time, when it was like 15 years ago, I was just printing ports. Oh, I need to have the ports. It was the first page, and there was this port does this port does this, and I sent it to print. When I went to the printer, it was 153 pages. That document had listed all the 65,000 ports there. And I was like, whoa, what is going on? It's a book. I just wanted the, first, 17 or 18 ports. In interviews, they will always ask you the ports. So for common services, you should know the ports. Just Google it, what are the common ports? You will get perfect documentation. Or remind me and I'll Google it for you. Okay, so it's more secure, L2TP, and it's Cisco came up with that. So we can go, only disadvantage here is that admins may not want to open so many ports. So those admins who are responsible for firewall, they would fight for every port request that you say, hey, we have VPN connectivity going on here. So can you open this, and this port? And the admin will fight on every port because the security admin opens the port, he or she is responsible if there's an attack happening through that port. Whether it was necessary for the company or not, the firewall admin has to be, the network admin has to be responsible for that. So admins say, hey, try not to open many ports, and we're going to be making sure that what are the security measures after opening the ports, what are the security measures we can apply, right? That's why admins love SSTP. Why? SSTP uses 443. 443 is always open. You need to, when you open a site and you log in, it's HTTPS. Or if your Exchange server is there and it's using certificates and it has to use certificates for encryption and authentication, so the HTTPS port will have to be open. So admins love that. Through VPN connection, if you're using VPN connection, can you just go for SSTP protocol because it uses 443? Okay, very useful detailed VPN info in diagrams, so you will get that slide and you can go to that. So there are the packets, overall structure. There's a segment. So this is when the data is starting to go. What is the model that tells you it's a ISO? You already have samosas, so you're spared. It's okay.
ISO is I want it.
ISO, you can. It's just OSI. So, hey, okay. I'm just, it's so distracting now. Okay. So, okay, segment. For the record of the video, I'm looking at the food, that's samosa and sweet things. Segment. Then it becomes a packet. Packet always has source IP address. So the packet has information. It has the data. Then the header, which has information of where it's going to and where it's coming from. Destination IP address and source IP address. Then the frame has destination MAC address and source MAC address. If you have heard the OSI model, you can go back to that and just look it up, and it tells you how when you send an email, how it converts into bits and travel over the network and then reaches the client and becomes turns back into from bits to frames to packet to segment and then to the actual application or the email. So OSI models is you should go and study that, right? PBTP. So it is allows multi-protocol traffic to be encrypted and then can encapsulate it in an IP header to be sent across an IP network. Main thing is it's not that it's Microsoft proprietary, and second thing is that it's not used a lot nowadays because it's not that secure. So you are communicating with machines that may be a Linux. You're sending an email from Microsoft machine product, and it's you're receiving it from Linux. So PBTP is not supported by Linux or Mac machines, right? So there you go. Don't use PBTP over the internet when you don't have both sides Microsoft. So that's why L2TP is the bigger protocol or the open source protocol. Why do I say bigger? L2TP allows multi-protocol traffic to be encrypted and encapsulated again. But this is just the detailed discussion that we cannot jump into now. The main thing about L2TP is Cisco came up with that, developed by Cisco. It has much better encryption technologies. It is supporting IPsec as well. So those, and it's open source. So from Windows side, if you're sending a data, and on the other side it's non-Windows environment that is receiving the data, they can both have L2TP/IPsec based security. So this means majority of the companies can communicate with each other with L2TP/IPsec, right? So there's a party, right? You're planning for a party, right? Okay. All right, let's talk about party. How about it's a small lab. Let's finish that VPN lab before other labs start, and then we do the party.
Yeah.
Or we finish the slides and then we go for at least the slide, right?
Up to like 7 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, I'm also okay. VPN protocols, SSTP. See, this is what I was talking about. Secure socket layer, secure socket tunneling protocol, SSTP. Uses SSL for encryption, port 443, better firewall support. Port may already be open. 443 is always open, normally. Support certificates, client access only, not for site to site. So, anyone used a certificate before? Anyone has received a certificate from a company which is a 40 KB or 50 KB file, and that file has information. So if I want to show you, seriously, oh, yeah. Did I get it? Okay, got it. Yeah, so certificates, I was gonna just show you here. Well, it's a 45 KB file, it's a small file. Anyway, let's go ahead because we have lots of topics to cover. So main thing about SSTP is that it is certificate based. It is just using 443, and it is supporting EAP TLS, which is coming as an authentication method. We're going to talk about that. When a client tries to establish a SSTP based VPN connection, SSTP first establishes a bidirectional HTTPS layer with the SSTP server. So both networks have to support SSL, and both networks should have the 443 port open, and then it will connect both networks together, right? So main thing is that it uses certificate. ICAV is a tunneling protocol that uses the IPsec tunnel mode. So IPsec again used. IPsec secures the data 4 ways, and I've shown you the 4 ways: data originator, data integrity, data encapsulation, and replay attack protection. So IPsec is already protecting us from 4 ways: our connection, data, and originating. So that's also connection. And ICAV VPN provides resilience to the VPN client when the client moves from one wireless hotspot to another, or when it switches from wireless to wired connection. What do you get from that?
Roaming.
Those who are about to sleep. Yep.
Roaming.
So it supports roaming wireless. You're just walking, I'm walking from Humber, one hotspot switch to another, even that switch changes. So ICAV, if I'm connected from my laptop to my company through ICAV version 2, any hotspot wireless change will not disconnect that connection from my company. It will support roaming. Maybe I open my laptop from here to the nearest McDonald's or Tim Horton wireless network. It's going to get us connected if I did not specifically disconnected that, right? So it's a roaming support, as you said. So the use of ICAV2 and IPsec allows support for strong authentication and encryption methods. So this means you're already moving. This means you could be in a very unsecure location. So IPsec is there with ICAV. So your connection is resilient. You can be connected anytime, or it will not let you disconnect easily unless you really specifically disconnect or you're away from Wi-Fi for too long, and also if you're in an unsecure public location. So these are the ports requirements for each VPN protocol. We should know those ports before an interview. And VPN reconnect, by the word it says, it will keep you connected when you are disconnected. So I used to connect from dial-up connection to my company. There was a service called callback. You know what's a callback service? Exactly. So company then is charged for your connection to your internet, and we used to abuse that company connection. Okay. Anyway, so abuse? No. Use. I mean, like company resources. I was doing boss's work. Come on. Okay. So configuration requirements. We need 2 network cards. So on our domain controller, we would need 2 network cards, and 1 network card is for us, for the domain controller to do its local network activities like authentication, authorization, and any other shan. Then auditing, as well as DNS. So second network card on our domain controller. First of all, VPN servers are not supposed to be installed on domain controller, but it's a lab, right? So second thing is, the second network card is for receiving VPN connections. So first network card we already have. Second, we're going to add on our domain controller, but we're going to go step by step because we will be giving the network 10, the IP scheme as 10.0.0.1, 10.0.0.2, 10.0.0.3 for the second network card. So I'm going to give you the diagram, and I'm going to explain you in detail. And we're going to have 2 DHCPs here. First is our own DHCP, right? And the second is the VPN DHCP. VPN also has a DHCP. Why? You know why? VPN server can have its own DHCP. Purpose? So VPN is receiving clients, right? Maybe there are hundreds of clients connecting to your company. So VPN's DHCP is giving IP addresses to those clients which are connecting from outside. Although you can still use your local DHCP for that. There's another option, and we're going to use that option. VPN DHCP, we're going to configure that.
Can we configure MAC filtering? MAC filtering for VPN?
MAC filtering is like, yeah, we can use that. That's easy. I mean, like,
For more secure.
so that's for more security. It's supported by all our DSL routers at home, that you can MAC filter. This means whatever devices you have, just add manually their MAC addresses to your router and tell your router. This means the router says, hey, whoever's MAC address is here, I'm gonna let them connect to me, like internet will be going to them. Whichever other devices are trying to connect and their MAC address is not there, manually entered, they will not be able to connect. So whenever you have 100 guests, good luck giving them Wi-Fi. So, yep.
They have,
Can you install the VPN server in the IP server, and then
So I'm going to explain that in the map because we are all in a rush to eat. So that's why I'm just trying to. So ports showing protocols, and this is how our lab would look like. I'll just gonna keep it here, and we can have a lunch break now, or we can start the lab.
Lunch break.
We just started. Come on. Okay. So anyway, can we have just 15 minutes? Can we finish this all up in 15 minutes?
I can try, but if not, 5 minutes. Just give us.
We are hungry. Okay, that's food break. Zooming in 3, 2. Oh, I already zoomed. Sorry. Okay, server 1. We're gonna have the DC DNS, and it's gonna be the VPN as well. And the configuration for the first NIC is this, and the configuration for the second NIC is this. I'm gonna do it, and you could follow me. So on the DC, so we have a server 1, a domain controller hosting domain called mydomain.local. Make sure server 1 has 2 network cards, one NIC connected to LAN and the other NIC configured with IP, which will be used to configure VPN server. We need a Windows 8 client to configure VPN connection. No, if you have Windows 7, it's okay as well. Remember to put 10.0.0 range for VPN DHCP range. Okay, let me draw it now. With our very sophisticated and famous application called MS Paint, and so there is that. Okay, it's not this. Wrong. Yeah, there is that server here, and then there is this client we will have, which is also, it could be Windows 7, it could be member server. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna draw the network cards with that triangle thingy diagram. So there is that network card here, and then there is that network card. The main thing to know about these is that this is the DC DNS and DHCP already there. I'm just mentioning it. And then there is VPN as well. We'll be adding that. And this is our client machine from WAN. We are assuming that it is from WAN, and it could be Windows 7, Windows 8, or 2012 R2 member server. The main thing here now will be that there is that IP address which we already have is 192.168.0.1, and then here the IP address will be 10.0.0.10, and here. So now there will be a little confusion. Maybe you will think why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I am putting the client IP as 10.0.0.11 and also there is our DHCP. So our local DHCP already has, it could be a range from 192.168.0. I think 50 we gave, and we are always giving 50. Up to 192.168.0. could be 100 or whatever we have given. Let me just put those size of the font. Oh, oops. Am I missing here something? How come I cannot? Okay, anyway, so this is not that sophisticated. I take my word sophisticated from here. Anyway, this is our local DHCP, which is this range, but what we are configuring now will not be related to our local DHCP. We're going to be configuring VPN DHCP. and its range will be 10.0.0.20 up to 10.0.0.30. Well, let's just give a simple range for now. So this is our VPN DHCP. So our local DHCP, which already has this, but when the client connects from outside, when the client makes a connection from here to this VPN server, this network interface will receive that client connection, and we are giving this 10.0.0.11 to client machine because we need to communicate this client with our local VPN server. So we are assuming this client is inside the home. What happens if you're connecting from home? You have any random IP address at home, 192.168, whatever. But in the company, there's a specific range of IP addresses. So from home, when you try to connect in a production environment, I'm not saying that in a production environment, in prod env environment, you connect from home. You should have a web-based link, like suppose it's vpn.cnn.com. So the employees employees put the web-based link or IP in their VPN application. So I'll show you mine. It's Entrust is a VPN application, and it already has. So if I take you to I always that bad habit. If it's filled, I'll just fill. Anyway, so where's nodal VPN connection. So suppose it is there. This is the VPN client I have, and pause. Hey, cool, man. Okay, thank you. So so as I was saying that I just gave an example after stopping the video of my company VPN URL. So that was okay. Anyway, so I was supposed to not put that on video. Why am I giving 10.0.0.11 and 10.0.0.10 in our lab? Because we are assuming that this client is communicating from internet, and there is that web-based URL that will ultimately connect our client to our VPN server. How do we make sure the VPN really worked? How do we make sure this is how VPN is supposed to do in a production environment? That's why I have 10 range here. I could have put I could have put here 10.0.0. I need ESL, English as a second language, right? Classes. So 10.0.0. I could have put here 192.168.0.100 and up to 110. So we would not have differentiated. Hey, where's the VPN connection? What's the specialty of VPN connection here? They're all same ranges. That's why I put the different range. Why? If there is a VPN connection, successful VPN connection, it will let this client connect to all the Active Directory resources successfully. It will let this client open the shared folder of this server. Right now, it is not supposed to access the shared folder because it is a 10 range and this is a 192.168 range. Right now, it's not supposed to access any Active Directory services because it's a different range. When the VPN software, so this is a third point here, mucho importante. A VPN software on the same server creates routing between two different ranges. So this means if our VPN connection is perfect, from a 10.0.0.11 machine, we're gonna ping 192.168.0.1 IP, and we will be able to ping successfully. From a 10.0.0.11, we're gonna be doing NS lookup, and we will be able to get the correct IP of our DNS. If we are successfully connected through VPN. We will be able, so this client, even in a second range, will be able to do exactly everything that a client of 192.168.0.10 or 11 can do. Once we disconnect the VPN connection, then we will do the same thing. Ping 192.168.0.1, we won't be able to do that. Or try to access the shared folder of 192.168.0.1, we won't be able to do that. Then we again connect from VPN, we will be able to do that again. So this will be our success of VPN connection. When you connect from home to your network, you have a totally different range. But when you connect to a VPN server in a company, after you're authenticated, you can use all the resources of the company, all file servers, anything you want to use, because VPN has authenticated you. And you're coming from a totally different range.
According to the permissions that the user have, right?
Sorry? According to the permissions you have, exactly, the user have. So the permissions are later, defined, or later the user is authenticated and authorized once the user has made the connection. So we will be using our local administrator account here, and we're going to be authenticating ourselves with the administrator account, right? Main thing here is you are a different range and you are able to access the resources of 192.168.0.1 through the successful implementation of VPN connection. Then you're successful. So we're gonna check after creating a successful VPN connection that are we able to ping 192.168, are we able to share, open the shared folders of 192.168, and when we disconnect, we should not be able to ping anymore with the same machine and do anything with the same machine which we were able to do during the VPN connection, right? So this will be our test that, okay, client side testing is done and we are good with our VPN connection. So we need to configure it first, and we're going to be discussing some more concepts along the way. Main thing here is let's try to configure it and make it successful. I'm going to my domain controller. First thing is, so the first steps that I would type here is that we're gonna add yeah, I was trying to say that. Okay, second NIC, add a second NIC and give IP and subnet mask only to the second NIC of 10.0.0.10, and subnet mask could be 255.0.0.0, right? Because it's a class A. And so I'm just gonna put that major step here. Okay. And second is to install VPN role, actually it's routing and remote access role on DC, and then configure it. Okay, so and we're gonna put the client also on a separate network. So major steps are these. I'm gonna keep on adding more. Right now let's go back to our machines. I'm on domain controller now and logging into it, and let's try to put it on, oops, yeah. So on the domain controller, right click first, add the second NIC and configure it. So first step, add the second network card and configure it. So we could install a VPN role on that, right? So how do we do that? Settings, right click, settings, and click, we know how to add a network card, right? So click add, press yes, network adapter, NACOST, and then well, I need it to be exactly the same setting as my domain controller is. I think my domain controller is VMnet 12. I'm gonna double check that. If your domain controller is on NAT, keep it NAT. If it's on local host, keep it local host. Doesn't matter. It has to be exactly the same. Don't put it on bridge, or we don't need internet here. So yeah, it is on VMnet 12 in my case. So second network card is also on VMnet 12. In your case, whatever is your domain controller setting is, put it that way. So Do not copy this one. Go with your, if you have your domain controller of VMnet 12, then only put 12. Otherwise, whatever is there first, look at it there and then put it there. Press OK. Okay, I have a second network card here on my domain controller. Now I'm going to configure that. So I'm going to local server and okay, on the local server, on the domain controller, go to the network card area. Okay, there's a virtual switcher. This means I configured Hyper-V. Oh, that's why. Okay, ignore that. In fact, I'm just gonna disable that. If you have this V Ethernet, disable it. Okay, second network card is Ethernet 2. First thing is I'm renaming it. So Ethernet 2 I'm renaming as VPN, and Ethernet 0 I am renaming as local. So local and VPN, right? Okay, local is first one. Second one is rename only. Right click VPN, double click VPN and go to properties. We should have IPv6 unchecked, v4 double click, you know, the usual drill. And then what is the static IP? Yeah, 10.0, and press tab to automatically fill the class A subnet mask. That is it. So we do not put anything else here, right? So that's it. So make sure this is it. Do not put a gateway. Sorry?
How many member servers do you have?
One. Either member server or a Windows 8 or a Windows 7 client, doesn't matter. We are still configuring the server side right now. So this is the first step. Second network card, which is renamed to VPN, and the static IP is given as 10.0.0.10, and the subnet mask is this. That is all we need to do. Press OK.
Okay, I already have two network servers. I have two network cards. One is for the internet and one is for
so right now we don't need internet. So you could just convert that to this, or add a third one and disable the bridge one or the internet one. This is the IP address of the IPv4. This is IP address. Everyone should have the IP address this like this for the second network card, 10.0.0.10 and 255.0.0.0. So this is the VPN network interface that's going to receive the VPN traffic, right? Yeah, 10.0.0.10. Okay, everyone did that. Press OK. Okay, if you get a message, just press OK. Just ignore that. Yep, no gateway. We are in LAN, that's why no gateway. Otherwise, in production, it's totally different way to configure that. But the concepts will be same, the results will be same exactly, just like an actual VPN server. Okay, press OK here, and DNS server list is empty. Press OK. Yeah, done. Press OK again. If I go to details, I see 10.0.0.10 and 255.0.0, and auto configure is there, which is not supposed to be there, but okay, let's see if it creates any problemo. So close. I'm just going to do because I gave it a static IP, I don't want it to be having any auto configuration. ipconfig/release for anything that is bind to that. The operation field has no adapter. Okay, there's no use for that. I'm just doing it for myself. So VPN has this. Everyone has done this 255.
I just have IPv4 address and something like that.
But it's okay. Still okay. Okay. Everyone did that, because this is the most important step. If you have this configuration wrong, it won't work for you.
I'm just having this default here and I'm trying to delete it, it's not going on. It's not going on.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go ahead. This was the most mucho importante step. Yep. Server manager. Oh, okay. Let me just fix my firewall as well. I need to turn off the firewall. Okay, now what you're saying is, did you press F5? It's okay. Doesn't matter. So even if it's not showing, we know that it's enabled and it's working. And is it? Huh? Oh, guys. Hey, can you all open your local network? Do you see this?
On this one, I tried.
Because you are connected, you shall switch.
Yeah, that's why.
You shall switch is
Okay. So, did you try to configure that? Actually, you know what? Let's just disable the local as well. Hey, everyone, see this. If you rename the first one as local and double click that, if you go to details, it's empty. Just check that. If it is empty, you need to add another network card and give the static IP for your local connection. So,
which is already disabled.
which okay, let's enable that. Let's check that. No, I'm just checking that. So if we put if I'm enabling the Ethernet switch, let's check that. Details. Yeah, that is it. So if I go to local, it's still going to be, so the main source is this. Let's just remove the distraction because it's gonna create a problem for our VPN connection. So I am deleting this. Let me first. Okay, it's not even able to delete. We have to remove the role of Hyper-V actually. Let me just remove the role of Hyper-V. Hey, I just want to. Let's add another network card. It's did you try that? So I should save my time now. So yeah.
What if we install the TCP/IP from the CD for the network?
Oh yeah, we can add another product. Yeah.
Just let me go back the folder and
Uninstall the Hyper-V role, right?
No, not Hyper-V, go back the
Local server.
property. No, the property for the.
Sorry, go to the
network
property.
property.
Install
Yeah,
all
go
these.
back. No, right click. There's the.
Oh yeah, there's an install as well.
No, go back. The properties.
Yeah, yeah.
No, this one. Just back.
Yeah, I was there.
Who was in the right place?
I wasn't.
Properties,
Local. From your local.
Yeah, I installed.
Can you see the Hyper-V?
Okay, again. Whoa. Okay. Here, you're saying local, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go in the properties.
Properties.
Yeah. There's in the middle. There's a uninstall. Yeah,
Uninstall there.
The Hyper, yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Hey, I didn't do that before. Cool. Let's check that. Okay. Uninstall. Press yes. I was gonna uninstall the whole role, and then it. Okay, good, man.
Yeah, you need to reconfigure the
Okay, and then it goes away. Otherwise, hey, that's new for me. Thank you very much. So you saved us 10-15 minutes of time by spending 20. No, by not spending 20 minutes. It's by spending 5 minutes.
Yeah, you get 5 bucks.
Yeah, he deserves that. And this is innovation. Okay, guys, do you know what did we do? Everyone did that? Everyone did do done? Okay, we saved and thank you. We saved a lot of time here.
Now both of them are in the
Now, if I go to details, it should be exactly like this. Everyone has this?
Different IP? Yes. Different IP.
Okay, the IP you used to have for your domain controller, right?
Yeah.
You have that. Okay, if we close this, and do you have still the same VPN IP details? Everyone has that? Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, that's mucho good. Sorry?
Should be in the local
It's okay. Gateway is okay.
In my case, it disappeared. The gateway disappeared.
Why does it disappear? Click details. Does it show here? If in the details it shows, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, guys. So if the network setting is okay, we can go ahead. Otherwise, we're gonna have a problem. So let's install that role now. Everyone has done this? Okay. Dashboard, add roles and features. So let's go to dashboard and add roles and features. And 3 next. And what is the role that we need to install? It's the remote access, which says remote access provides seamless connectivity through direct access, VPN, and web application proxy. And then there is another called network policy and access services, which is for NAP and NPS, health registration. I'm going to be talking about that too. Remote access. So we're going to just go for remote access services. Click that. No features were required here. Remote access. Everyone click that? NAC host? Yeah. 10.00.10. And press tab and automatic 255000. Okay, next. No features to be installed. Next. And then we reach here. Everyone on this role services option? Okay, direct access and VPN. Select that. First one, remote access and direct access and VPN, RRAS. We just select that for now and click next. So routing is that if you want to create a Windows router. What is a Windows router? What we are about to create now is actually also exact. It's gonna be a Windows router, but it will be working as a gateway. So this means 2 separate ranges clients can communicate with each other through Windows router. One network card which we just gave 10 range, and second network card we just gave 192, and we're gonna be able to communicate. That's gonna be routing enabled, but this routing also supports some routing protocols like BGP, RIP, rest in peace. And then there's the routing information protocol, and then there's web application proxy. Enables the publishing of selected the HTTPS based applications from your corporate network. So this is if you have an application that you don't want to upload to a hosting company, and then they publish it for you. You put your own server on the internet by putting public IP or mapping a public IP in your firewall with your server, and then you want to have some application that everyone on the internet can access, but your server is hosting that on the internet directly. So you're exposing your server directly to internet. So if you want that, go ahead with the web application proxy. It will give you all those settings, but with proper security as well. We're gonna be just doing the VPN. Direct access. Anyone knows the idea of direct access? It's very horrific idea. Oh, that's a bad way to say that. It's a very open idea. So it just means that your machine, if it is connected to internet, so you have a laptop, you're connected to your network and you're working, then you go shut down your laptop, not shut down, sleep, put your sleep mode and go outside to McDonald's. You open your laptop. As soon as you're connected to the network, you're connected directly to your office network at once without touching anything. As soon as you open the lid of the laptop and Wi-Fi gets the McDonald's Wi-Fi connection and you have a successful internet connection, you're connected to your network securely. So if you have a direct access, you do not need VPN. If you have VPN, what do? You have to double click that, you have to do this. Double click that when I want to connect, and I click connect here. Then it says put the password. I put the password, then I get connected. I need an application in VPN to connect to my company. But in direct access, you have direct access to your company.
There is no security in your company. How
So,
to separate?
That's what it says. Sorry?
So there is no security.
Oh, there's very much security. There's like IPv6 security there. There is, so that's what, in the backside, how do we configure direct access? We're gonna discuss that. But so what it does is, maybe you may have to implement some securities manually. They are all scripted and automated in the background now. So your CEO, he's opening a lid, or your director is opening a lid, or anyone who has been configured with direct access, they open the lid. In the background, automatic security protocols get implemented. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once they are implemented, automatically they are checked with your office network, and all the checking is done in like seconds. And all the perfect IPsec is checked, double checked, triple checked. All the other protocols are double checked, triple checked, and then automatically a connection is made. And your machine, you are just sitting there, and when you click your shared folder of your company while you're sitting in McDonald's, it will open just like you were in the company. So every security measure has been automated, scripted. That's all. In the background, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, secure, connected. That's it. So you don't have to trust, or you don't have to rely on this machine. Why? So if you're a non-technical user, you have no idea. Okay, there's that thing, and I am supposed to click this button here, and it's supposed to connect. Suppose it does not connect now. So what happens is, you're at home, your director is at home, and really there's important work to be done within next half an hour, and the VPN application does not work. So what do? The director calls the help desk. Help desk can only guess, because you're not connecting. So the help desk cannot connect remotely, or maybe the help desk wants to connect through TeamViewer. You as a director, a non-technical person, doesn't know what's a TeamViewer. What is that? Can you just connect me, or I'll fire you?
I'm not going to see any tweets right now.
I just don't want to see any team. Football team viewer or what? Anyway, so the non-technical users could be very annoying to help the help desk to help that person. Okay, that was a tricky sentence. Help me help you, right? That's the sentence. so okay, direct access gives you direct access. Okay, simple, right? What's so difficult here? So when we talk about the concept, our minds start blowing up. Okay, first new terminology, second new terminology, third new term. What is this, man? So anyway, it's new technology, so new terminologies will be there, right? Anyway, so VPN and direct access. What's the one difference between the two? One liner. What is the difference between VPN and direct access?
VPN is application driven.
Exactly. So VPN, you need a VPN client to connect. Direct access, you must have internet connection. That's all, and you're connected if your machine has been enabled for direct access, and it will be enabled through group policy. So as long as you're there connected to your network and the group policy applies, all the services will be enabled. But it works on Windows 8, or if you put some more stuff in Windows 7, some updates.
We'll have lab for this.
That's mucho difficult. So we're gonna have theory. There are some labs which are still in the development. I'll send you the steps for that, but it does not give you client-side testing. It just gives you how to configure direct access from the server side. So I'm gonna send you that lab, and you should be, really curious to do all the labs. So that's a good question. We should be doing the lab for that. It's very complicated. Okay, if we can do the VPN lab correctly, we will have many of the concepts clear for the direct access lab as well. But many of the concepts are new. Okay, direct access and VPN, that's why they are together, right? Either you can use this or this, but not together. Okay, direct access and VPN, or could be that some of the clients are VPN clients and some of the clients are direct access clients. Next, the role services, nothing here. So I've just selected the first one and going ahead without doing any other further changes, except for this, restart the destination if it requires a restart, click install, and direct access and VPN are being installed here. While this is going on, let's go to the client and configure the client. So if you have a member server already started, we can just either log into the domain or you can log in locally as well. It doesn't matter. Domain membership does not matter right now, because we're assuming this is a client that is connecting with IP based connectivity, not domain based authentication. But if you're logging in from domain, it's gonna just make one step easy that you don't have to have. You will have separate type of authentication pop-ups. So I'm still logging in from domain to make this lab easiest, but I'm telling you now that if you want to try it later, once this easiest lab is successfully done, then you can go for any tougher scenarios. If we cannot do easiest, then okay, you know that means. Okay, so on the client side, what are we supposed to do? Change the IP, static IP of the network card from whatever 192 was it to 10.0.0.11 and the subnet mask 255.0.0.0. That's all. The client side, I'm going for local server now, and I think since it was also Hyper-V, no, okay, it was not, thank God. Okay, so I'm just the only client we have here and the only IP address I have actually here. Double click that, properties to the member server, IPv4, remove the previous IP settings for both DNS and IP, and come back with 10.0.0.11. This is because we want it to communicate to the VPN server, and we are assuming that this is connecting from home, but we have to give the same range to make the connection. But what happens after connection will test our VPN connectivity and VPN features. Sorry? If there is Hyper-V, you have to do the same thing that you did before. On the first one, just uninstall that. Okay, Ethernet 0 details. Yes, this is how it should look like your network card for the member server or client machine. 10.0.0.11. Everyone did that? Yeah, everyone did that. Static IP. So for member server, just one network card. This is for our test, right? This is for our test only. One Ethernet card is required here for our no gateway, no DNS. Exactly. Okay, so is it done? So I'm going to show that this client setting again, and this is how it should look like. 10.0.0.11. One network card in the client. Only one network card in the client. Only one network card in the client. Okay, done. Do it done. All right. So on the client side, that's first thing that needs to be done, and there will be the next step when we configure the whole VPN in the VPN server. Then we're gonna come back and make the connectivity with the VPN server. For now, that's the only setting in the client. Change the static IP. That's all. Okay, I'm going back to the server. Okay, it's installed for me. Is it installed for everyone?
Yes.
Close, and let's configure our VPN server. There's that yellow triangle. I'm gonna go there. It says configuration required for direct access and VPN, RRAS and server. One area is this, and the second area is, so I'm gonna check out all those. I clicked that. Okay, everyone has this screen. Keep it open, and go to tools. I'm just checking one quick thing here, because we don't need remote access management. Yeah, remote access only. No, but that's it. Yeah, routing and remote access. Z's one. Hey, you know that from 2008, right? Okay. So we're gonna configure. We don't want this. Everyone on this? If this opened, close it. If this window opened, remote access setup, which says direct access and VPN, close it. And there was another opened, and if you have clicked from here, from the yellow triangle, and whatever opened, close it. Whatever window opens from the yellow triangle, close it, right? Yeah. Now go to tools and go to routing and remote access, this one. Go to tools and go to R and go to routing and remote access. Go to tools, go to R and go to routing and remote access. Every two there? Previous window, just close it. Yeah. So routing and remote, it should look like this. Tools, routing and remote access. And it should not have, this is the old way of doing it. I mean, like, this is the 2008 VPN configuration. We used to do that. And this is a mucho perfect way to do that. Okay, routing and remote access. Everyone there? Yes. Okay, thank you for confirming. This is red. This means we need to configure it. So right click and configure and enable routing and remote access. So right click, configure and enable routing and remote access. Server 1, and the wizard starts. Did the wizard start? Okay. Next, and there's that all those types of options that you could configure. Remote access, dial-up or VPN, that's what we're gonna select. But there are NAT. You wanna put this device as NAT, as our DSL router has. Is that it converts public IP to private IP addresses. Then there's VPN and NAT if you want this to be configured for Windows. Secure connection between two private networks, the fourth option, and the fifth is custom, that you can select any of the above options in a combination. We're gonna go for remote access, dial-up or VPN. So next, the first one, and next. There is dial-up, of course we're not using that, so we'll just select VPN here. So it will be configured as a VPN gateway, which means that VPN traffic will be received by that network card. Next. Okay, now we see those two network cards and we see the enable security. We have that option checked here. Of course, we're going to be selecting the VPN like this. But what is the meaning of this option? Enable security on the selected interface. So this means that if we keep it unchecked, suppose if we do that, this interface as well as the local interface, both will be receiving all types of traffic. Okay, the VPN interface will be receiving all types of traffics and VPN traffic. But when we enable this means that only this interface is dedicated for VPN traffic. No other traffic is allowed. Use the other interface for DNS traffic, for authentication traffic, for authorization, for whatever request you have, global catalog or any other thing. The local network interface is already receiving that traffic. So VPN, when I enable this, it will only receive VPN traffic and discard all the other packets. So we're gonna just keep it selected for now. If there is troubleshooting and we had to come back, we're gonna uncheck that just to have open all the traffic, so we could troubleshoot whatever if there is something wrong going on. So now we know the purpose of this. Let's keep it checked and let's select VPN. All right, next. Okay, now this is the area where it says, hey, you want to use your local DHCP, which is 192.168.50 up to 100, or you want to use your own VPN DHCP. So we're going to say no, we're going to use our own VPN DHCP, so second DHCP. Okay, what's the reason that I'm not using my local DHCP? What could be a number of reasons that I would not be using my local DHCP? Although whenever, suppose if I am selecting the first option and the clients connect, they will be given IP from 192.168.50 up to 100, any client. Or if there are hundreds of clients, we will give a very big range, right? Or we can come up with another subnet, 192.168.1.10 up to 1.250 or 1.10 up to 2.250 if we have routing between the two subnets. But we can give any range from 192.168, right?
So we have selected enable security on the selected interface. for that only networks for 10.0.
So yeah, we need a DHCP. So you're right.
Yeah.
The client is connecting from to a 10 interface, and if it gets an IP of 192.168, that's gonna create a problem. We have a different different IP scheme here right now here in our lab for our lab. So we need the client to be assigned the IP address from a 10 range as well. This is for our production environment. Second thing is, even in production environment, suppose you put a separate range for VPN and you put a separate range for internal clients. So whenever you're troubleshooting, you will see, oh, there is a virus detected from a 10.0.0.2. Oh, 10 ranges for VPN. We already know now that this is a outside PC that has infected our network, or it's spreading viruses from in our network. If it was one of the 192.168, we would then still have to decide, is it connecting from outside or is it our internal client, because everyone is 192.168 now. So we are giving a separate range to identify right away, oh, this is outside traffic that's creating this problem, and this is the inside traffic that is creating this problem, or inside assets and outside assets. So
This thing before,
yep.
I don't have VPN there.
Did you rename that?
No, I mean I have in the screen. Yeah, I have it. Sorry.
That was a wrong screen. Come on. How many samosas now?
So the next is screen?
Yeah, next is different, right?
No, we have one more before this.
Oh, everyone after this screen, do you see this screen or some other screen?
Yeah, another screen.
Exactly this one? Hey, they're all with the samosa eating teacher. Yeah.
No, see?
But what does it ask?
Uh,
The next screen which you are different.
You can assign VPN clients must be assigned one network.
Hey, did you select the VPN NIC or did you select the?
Yeah, VPN.
Yeah, did you select it?
Yeah.
Yeah, now. Okay, next.
Now I have another screen.
And this is also asking something else. Anyone else has different screen than this?
No.
Okay, that's only your machine.
Even though,
You are in the routing and
no, but you have seen like.
Are you in routing and
Next.
No, what's the title? It's a routing and
Are you doing VMware?
Hey, this is a Windows lab. Come on, this is not a VMware lab. It's not Sumit's day, although he made our day by bringing samosas. Okay, good luck figuring it out. Troubleshoot that, man. I know you're good at it. Come on. Yeah.
When we create a different scope in basically we still can identify
Yeah.
the
We can do that. Yes, we can. If you want to go it that way, that's also okay. We are just giving different range just to prove our point that VPN features are perfectly working fine.
if the user connect from outside and at the same time, the computer is on and it is coming to get inside the company without you.
So the user is connected from outside from another machine, and or maybe from the laptop that he brings inside, the same laptop which is connected through VPN, and he walks in and then opens while it was connected with VPN, so it's going to detect that. So inside companies normally the VPN connection is not supported. You could be still connected through the company proxy through the company internet to the VPN, but when you go through the proxy, it's going to detect that, oh, it's an outside connection from originating from inside, so it's supposed to disconnect. In our office, this is not allowed. We cannot, from inside, we cannot connect to the company resources through VPN. It's going to detect that connection and disconnect it right away. So once you walk in, most of the companies, that will be disconnected right away. You won't be able to continue that connection because you will connect it to internal Wi-Fi. It will detect that it's an outside IP that it's coming from. No, it's going to disconnect you right away. And automatically you're going to be connected to the internal Wi-Fi. Or when you connect to your docking station, it will be the wired connection. It will at once disconnect you from the VPN.
The VPN service is expensive services.
No, we in the market you can go for $110 Cisco router that supports 6 VPN connections, or you put more money, 25 VPN connections, or unlimited VPN connections. So even those Cisco routers are very, some of my students, they are in, one of the students is doing their own, contracts, and they were supposed to give access to global 6 users anywhere here in Toronto office. So he bought that very cheap router for that company, just supporting 6 VPN connections. That's all. Cool. Yep.
So some companies using VPN for the internal connection, for the intranet.
So for internal as well, the VPN. So okay, if they want to have some, if they must have good reason for that. Otherwise, they can just scope it together, or they want the user to be protected, or they want the user to be going through only that gateway. So yes, you can just put it for internal users as well. We are just now doing that. Internally, we are connecting through to a VPN server. Okay, so what we are doing here, yeah.
The server doesn't have bandwidth. It's possible to use this service and VPN.
So if the server
Yeah, doesn't have a bandwidth.
WAN link does not have a
The
WAN.
ban like network.
Yeah.
Platform. Is that possible to be
Yeah, it can be a VPN server then.
so like in this case, you can have to use automatic and use the local.
Yeah, it can be local as well. I can just select this for a production environment as well, and the internal DHCP will start giving IP addresses.
So the server has not alone in the for the DC.
Yeah.
Also, this server to like the VPN server.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's this need and to like boost it.
yeah,
For the network, not for the
definitely, it can do that. Definitely, yeah, definitely. One NIC can also do that.
in this case, they have to choose automatic.
Yeah. This is just to separate the roles and understand the concepts. Yeah, and it's also recommended as well. Alright guys, so from a specified range of addresses, I'm selecting the second option and going ahead with next, and I'm putting the range. So what I did till now, selected the second option and clicked next, and there it says, hey, okay, now you're opting for your own VPN DHCP, so why don't you give me a range? And then I click new here and I say I want 10.0.0.0, and it's from 20 up to 10.0.0 and up to 30. For our configuration, we just have one client, we're still giving 10. In production, you could go for hundreds and hundreds of clients by giving a big range if you want. So I'm just giving 10.0.0.20 up to 10.0.0.30. So what will happen here if I go to my diagram back? The 11 client, the client which is this 11, Mr. 11 will be connecting to our VPN server, which is 10. When the VPN connection is successful, what will be the IP of this client? Everyone says 20? 192.168.0.20, right? Okay, I played this too much. Already you know that I'm trying to confuse now. When it connects to the VPN server, it will get the IP 192 10.0.0. What's the end one? Gotcha there. Hey, you just gave a range, right? DHCP range. What was the first IP of the range? VPN DHCP. So you're saying that 10.0.0.50. 192.168.0.50. Okay. Hey, I gotcha there. Hey, what was in the samosas? Come on. They were so tasty actually. Man.
So anybody who is doing Microsoft Excel, they fail.
God. And then we get the samosas. Okay. So why is it not this client, when it connects to the VPN, why is it not going to get 192.168.0.50? So it is connecting to the VPN NIC, and the VPN NIC is configured with this DHCP range. So this means the first one is 20. So it has nothing to do with this one. Nothing to do with this one. So when this client connects with VPN, VPN says, hey, I have my own DHCP. I'm not going to refer you. If I had selected the first option, automatically, it would have gone to that DHCP. But I've selected the second option. No, I'm going to have my own DHCP, which is 10.0.0.20 up to 30, right? Okay.
What if you didn't have the static IP?
What if, which one? This one?
Yeah.
If we don't give a static IP in our local lab, it's not going to work.
In our local
Why?
lab,
Because it should get from the DSP.
Yeah, so it's gonna get from our, maybe it's gonna get from our this DHCP. Not maybe, it's definitely gonna get from our 192.168 DHCP. If it gets IP from there, then it's not going to connect to our VPN server to prove some concepts of VPN. We are just proving the concepts, that's why we are putting it on the VPN scheme.
But it already has a static IP. So how is
We have given the static IP, but when it connects to VPN, see our home machines, they have their own IP. When you connect to the VPN server of the company from our home machine, it does not change our already received IP from our local DS. It gives us a second IP. So whenever a VPN client connects, it always have two IPs, not one. So that's actually a good question. Another proof, hey, is VPN connecting or not? We will already have our 10.0.0.11 IP, we should still have it. And we will have a second IP as well, which will be the VPN IP. So when we ipconfig/all, we must have two IPs, 10.0.0.11 and 10.0.0.20. Yeah. Yeah, this is just for local lab to connect to our, to make it connect to our VPN lab. It's a forced lab kind of thing. Please connect, but then we're gonna prove the VPN features after that. That this is the first feature, so it should have two IPs, right? Okay, from our house when we connect, also we always have two IPs when we connect from VPN, a VPN IP and our local IP. If we remove our local IP from our, suppose we are connecting from our house to our company, and our local IP was in the house from our local router, 192.168 10.2, suppose. That was the IP from local router. Suppose we remove that. We have connected our VPN connection. We don't want two IPs. No, VPN IP is okay. I remove my local IP. What happens?
it will not connect.
no internet?
No more internet connection from home.
It will not connect.
So that's that IP that makes us connect first, basically, to a network, right? Okay, so that's still a good question. So yes, we will have a proof that we must have two IPs if the VPN connection was successful. And the first connection will be the local Ethernet. The second will say it's a VPN connection. It should say that, right? Okay, once we did that from 10.0.0.20 to up to 10.0.0.30, press OK and next. Okay, so do we use the routing and remote access to authenticate? No, we use routing and remote access, or yes, set up this server to work with a RRAS server. Okay, what is a RRAS server? Okay, so let me explain that from. Yeah, that's the abbreviation. What does it do? Yeah, it does do AAA, but what in what scenario does it do that?
It is a central database. The VPN server will forward, redirect the
Yeah.
request to for
Yeah.
authentication and logging and other control authorization.
Okay.
One more. No, that's all.
No, that's correct.
Only G.
That's correct. Okay. Now yeah.
Radius server, you need to define the username and which server is going to connect.
Hey, nice design, right? Yeah, you're right. You want what?
I think in radius server, username and that username, that user which server is going to connect. I think radius server applies that.
Yeah, it is also this. Yeah, you're right. But okay, this is a quick diagram for that. DC, DNS, GC, DHCP. These are the roles, common roles we already have on our domain controller. And you know, these are the servers that are being hit by the outside traffic right now. So there's a VPN server that is taking outside traffic. There is that Citrix gateway that is taking outside traffic. There is another what we can say RDP, remote desktop protocol, that is taking outside traffic. And this is app virtualization actually. If you have used that, that's very interesting, like Citrix virtualization. And it could be any other gateway that is receiving and letting users outside users come inside. So what is happening here, if we are the users are connecting from home, they are making connections to VPN. It's a big company, so there are hundreds of connections coming on different gateway servers. Some are Citrix users and they need some specific applications, they are connecting there. Some are app virtualization RDP users that are connecting there, and some other users are connecting to the server as well. Whenever they are all connecting, what happens is they need to be authenticated, and then they need to be authorized as well. Authenticated and authorized. So what happens? VPN server connects, hey domain controller, confirm me, is this our guy or not? Authenticate. And then what network resources this guy needs to be accessing? So all the connections coming here, the VPN is throwing to this. So VPN is directly connecting to our domain controller. Then Citrix is also, they all need authentication and authorization, right? So they are all connecting directly to our domain controller. So domain controller is taking too much traffic from these external client gateways, external gateways, as well as from all internal network assets. It's taking huge traffic right now. So you want to leave domain controller alone when it comes to authenticating and authorizing outside traffic. It's already taking too much traffic from inside resources already. So what do? You introduce the RRAS server, and there should be music. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, then what do? You tell this guy, hey, organize all these external clients. Now RRAS uses the word clients for the servers that are receiving outside traffic. Those servers are actually clients of RRAS, but they are actually servers. They're not client machines like Windows 7, 8, right? So RRAS clients here means these servers which are reporting or connecting directly to the RRAS server. So let me just write that here. This is the RRAS server, and the purpose of RRAS server is again AAA, authentication, authorization, and auditing. This is what it's doing, RRAS, but this means it's organizing all this traffic on behalf of domain controller. And one more thing is, it's not authenticating itself. All the traffic which was hitting the domain controller will be hitting the RRAS server. And what will happen? There will be one RRAS server asking authentication and authorization from for all these users which are connecting. So there will be connection coming from just one server to domain controller for authorization. And then of course in a big company you will have multiple domain controllers. You will have replica DCs. You will have 5 or 6 replica DCs, right? So RRAS server does authentication, authorization, and auditing for all the traffic that is coming from RRAS clients. So who are RRAS clients here? The Windows 7 and Windows 8 machines connecting from home, right? Yeah, these servers which are hitting with which are receiving all the traffic, these are the clients of this RRAS server that is organizing all this traffic, and just one server is connecting to domain controller for all these authentication, authorization, and auditing requests for these servers. Yeah,
One of the our servers can be ISA server as well.
one of the
ISA
Exactly. One of the servers could be either the software firewall, right? So it could be also in one of those servers which are receiving the traffic from outside. So if you remove the radius server, every traffic hits directly to our domain controllers, and we don't want that. Radius server organizes everything on behalf of domain controller, and every traffic is redirected to that. So now, any questions here? Okay, so minimize. This is what is asking now. Set up this server to work with a radius server. Use routing and remote access to authenticate connection requests. So it's saying now go ahead and let this VPN connect to domain controller to authenticate, authorize everything. Do not let the radius server. We don't have a radius server, right? That's why it's we're not gonna select that. There was another. Do we allow for direct access, and do we allow radius server? We can continue this lab with Code 7, and you guys are welcome in Code 7 as well. I'm just kidding. Come on. Management will say, hey, you will say, teacher said, so we are here, and Code 7 will be all outside here looking, where's our seat, man? Who are these guys? So, yeah, it's just that there are huge amount of labs. We are touching the most critical ones, which you're going to be doing. Radius may not be in every company. Second thing, radius solutions are not only Microsoft solutions. Cisco has a radius server as well. Juniper has a radius server as well. So they have, concept is exactly the same, but you must have experience with the radius device by appliance by the Cisco or Juniper. On radius, Microsoft, mostly it's Cisco based, but if you have this concept clear, this is radius, right? So we'll keep it no and go ahead next, and then we put finito, and then there will be an error. Just ignore that too. Let's see. I click finito now after clicking next. Let me convince. I did click finish. Okay, yeah. So to support relaying of DHCP messages from remote access clients, you must configure the properties of the DHCP relay agent. DHCP relay agent concept was, there's a DHCP server internally which manages all the IP addresses and the lease time. Then there's a DHCP relay agent which is on another segment, and if you don't put a DHCP server on another segment, then DHCP relay agent works as an agent. Just like, for an insurance company, there's an agent, and okay, I'm working on behalf of that company and offering you services. DHCP relay agent works on behalf of the DHCP server, and you don't have to install the full DHCP server on the next segment. If you don't have that facility, DHCP relay agent will relay all the IP requests back and forth between the clients and the DHCP server, right? So working on behalf of DHCP server in another network where you don't have a local DHCP server. All right, anyone getting error till now? Oh, till now. No error, right?
That is the exam question.
That was the exam question. All right.
For
And you selected correctly? Okay.
And there's another question here. Two questions. No, sir, one here.
Oh, let's discover now. Everyone must have green arrow here. Oh, not arrow. Whatever that is. Green icon. Everyone has green icon? Okay, let's go ahead. Some important areas here are network interfaces, ports, and remote access clients. When we connect a client, it will show here. So network interfaces is that all the interfaces that are available here, which are working or not working. Our main thing here is ports, which is every port. There are 128 connection that can be made for SSTP protocol there. So when you go down, if I keep going down, and notice that this is SSTP going on right now. If I keep going down, it changes to PPTP here, and then okay, close, and then keep going down, and it changes to IKE v2 or ICAV. But if we want to know what is going on here, we'll right-click the ports, and go to properties. When we right-click the ports and go to properties, you see now that SSTP and the number of connections that it can take is 128. What does that mean? It means that 128 connections from outside, if the clients are set up to support SSTP, 128 clients can connect right now. And if you want to change, you can double click the SSTP here and you can change it to, no, I have at least 500 users, sir. So if I click that, okay, my SSTP configured VPN clients will be 500 in total that will be making connection at any given time. So we can change our these numbers according to the clients we have. So these are just saying that IKE v2 PPTP L2TP and point-to-point protocol over Ethernet. Well, that's not the one. L2TP, PPTP, IKE v2 and SSTP. These are the 4 client settings. The clients may be configured with PPTP and they can connect to us. So you're putting the number there. Oh, there are 128 clients that, so you can change the number, and this is the number of connections you're allowing to your VPN connections, right? VPN server.
Simultaneously, 128
Sorry?
clients.
Yeah, 128 connections can be made to your VPN server, and you can change it up and down. 128 users can connect from home or from anywhere to your VPN server if they are configured with PPTP, or if they are configured with IKE protocol, IKE v2, or if they are configured with the certificate, you provide the certificate, and they are configured with SSTP protocol. So there are 4 protocol based. So now we're going to configure the client as well. Then we're going to see that how can we configure these protocols there, right? SSTP, IKE v2, PPTP, L2TP.
What is the maximum?
Maximum? That's a very good question. So we can select 999999999, and I just didn't remove my finger from 9. So this is maximum. If I put it on backspace and it's not finishing. Okay, 999 again, and yeah, you're right. Press OK. The number of 30,000. Genius. Okay, so definitely when I put it, press OK. That is, there are many things there, man. There's many small things. So IKE v2. So what is the purpose of this? How many connections for the protocol they are connected? How many connections you're allowing, right? Okay, let's go. I'll just press OK, and this is the area where we're gonna expect one connection, which we are about to make, right? Okay, then there is IPv4 based setting here, general, and then there are static routes, and there is a DHCP relay agent. Static routes is that you want to make a static persistent connectivity between one segment or one network and another network. It could be 192.168 1.0 network to a persistent connectivity with 192.168 1.0 or 192.168 3.0 network. So you can make routes, persistent routes between Toronto branch 192.168 0.0 network and London branch 192.168 1.0 network. So you could make persistent connections, and there are lots of commands that you can put there to make routes between the connection, 2 networks, and between the 2 servers as well, 2 hosts as well. From this server to this server, permanent connection. Whatever traffic you are about to send has to go through that server, to that server first, right? So persistent routes are which you cannot change, or static routes, you can say that, right? So that's routing here if we want to do that, and I'm going to send you the commands for this. That's just one document having all the other details. Right now what's left here for configuration of VPN? Let's go to the client and check it out. Okay, we will be coming back to this guy here. Remote access client is 0, right? Keep it there, and I'm going to my member server. What do I do here? I need to configure a VPN client. Do we have a third-party VPN client? No, we have a built-in Windows VPN client as well, which we can create. How do we do that? Let's go to our network and internet sharing center here. Everyone there? Oh, you go to local server and click Ethernet 0, whatever is there, and then go to network connections. Oh, sorry, network and internet and network and sharing. See, 4 steps. Ugh. Okay. Anyway, everyone there? Okay, there it says set up a broadband, dial-up or VPN connection. So set up a new connection or network. Everyone there? And you see this. We'll connect to internet or we're gonna connect to a workplace. So we're gonna select connect to a workplace. Alright, connect to the workplace and next. And then what are we doing it? Use my internet connection VPN or dial directly. Sorry? VPN. So we select VPN connection. Every two there? Okay, so set up an internet connection now. I'll set up an internet connection later. I don't need an internet connection here for this particular lab. So second option. Second option is I'll set up an internet connection later. Enter. Okay, this is the internet address we need to give and its name is VPN connection by default. So internet address would be 192.168. Man, you catch me before even I start. God. Okay, 10.0.0. Okay, you're there. Why are we putting it 10 here?
Because the VPN server is 10.
Yeah, VPN server. It is just like what I showed you in my VPN application for my office. That it had a bank URL. So we have to give that VPN server. It has to be directed to our VPN server, right? So yeah, we can use a name. We can use a name. This will make sure we are not going through DNS and there's no DNS connectivity issues. So at least we get the connection. Okay, use smart card. No, we're not smart. So we're not. Oh no, it's not about us. We don't have a card that is smart. So remember my credentials. Yes, please do. Allow other people. No, I don't want anyone else to use this service. I'm selfish, right? So okay, create. Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? I mean, the smart card. Is it physical smart?
So it is actually a card that is put inside, and then the authentication is confirmed through that, and then you can. It is smart. It's lean and thin, and looks good when you see. It. Looks smart, right? No, the authentication smart card is different a little. It's kind of a small card, but it's not as thin as. Yeah.
Looks like
Yeah.
the digits with the display that shows the digits one-time password.
So it is as a little more thicker than a credit card. So you insert it there, but you must have that device there. Yeah, card reader. Okay, click create, everyone. Click create. Created. All right. So you got on your right side VPN connection here, but we can go for the change adapter settings here. If we go to the change adapter settings here, it should show like this: VPN connection disconnected. Okay, one very crucial thing here. So when VPN is installed, the policy, remote access policy, is to disconnect or reject any connection. By default, this is the policy. You have to either enable the policy for everyone, or you have to have a workaround for one particular user or few particular users. Hey, skip the policy and connect to my VPN server. So there are two choices there. Enable the policy for everyone. VPN is open for everyone now. With proper settings, we can do enable the policy. Or right now, keep the policy as shut. No VPN connections will be accepted, and we're gonna be connecting with the administrator only for now, right? So we're going for the easiest configuration right now. So I'm going to go to the Active Directory users and computers. I'm gonna go to the administrator account, double click that, and I'm going to click the option that says skip that policy. So even the policy says reject every connection, I'm gonna just enable this administrator to connect to my VPN server. This means any other user who tries to connect and has not implemented that workaround will not be able to connect, right? Unless we open the policy. So first of all, let's do that workaround and make first connection successfully connected. So I'm just gonna go for my domain controller and go to my server manager, go to tools, Active Directory user and computers, me store, so senior administrator, C senior. Oh, okay. I was just saying senior administrator. So, and there it's users folder, and this is the administrator account. I think we are all using still administrator account, right? Not the admin one. Yeah, in my case, I have a new environment. So in your case, go for admin 1 account and do the same thing I'm doing for the administrator account. So if you're logging from admin 1, you should do it not on administrator but on admin 1. I'm doing it on administrator because I do not have on the new environment admin 1. So on the administrator account, I can go for not dial in remote, not remote control. Whoa, it's not even going there.
It is in dial-in, but
No, it's not dialing.
it is.
Whoa, it's not clicking. Why? Oh, it is dial-in. It was just not allowing me to do that. Okay. Oh, okay. It's just SSD. Yeah, super slow drive. Oh, it's back again. Now I'm gonna just control access through NPS network policy or allow access. If we have 10,000 users, we just cannot allow them one by one through this way. It is just for specific users that you want to avoid going through the policy of NPS, right? Network policy server. So allow access here. Everyone did that in dial-in? Yes? Apply. Wow, it's mucho slow today. Whew. Okay, once you apply, I'm going back to my client. Okay, it applied, right? It's in the process of applying, and one day, Monday, Sunday, it's gonna do that. Anyway, okay, before I want to connect, it's already showing everyone. It is showing IKE protocol, IKE v2 here. Okay, right click this, and properties. Right click the client or the VPN client we just created. Go to the properties. Now we see all the options here. Remember my current idle time before hanging up, never. PPP settings, enable LCP extensions. Okay, that's software compression. Negotiate multi-link for single link connections. That's still some advanced settings that we can discuss, but main things are here. Type of VPN, automatic, or we can put the client to a static protocol. Hey, it's going to be only connected to, my client only supports L2TP/IPsec. So I'm just, instead of automatic, I can put here only L2TP IPsec. Otherwise, otherwise what? Okay, yeah. So I'll just put it back to automatic. This means I can put my client to a fixed setting. Maybe the company says, if you have automatic, we're not gonna let you connect. You put this protocol specific, and then we are going to let you connect. Otherwise, forget it, right? So this is the area you will select yourself, right? Then encryption areas are optional encryption, connect even if no encryption. Right now, we are at the least restrictive policy mode. We are going for, connect even if there is no encryption. We can set up the server side that, hey, only accept encrypted connections, and then we can select this client for require encryption or maximum strength encryption. We can go for all those. Right now, optional encryption, connect even if no encryption is there, and then there is use EAP MS-CHAP. What is MS-CHAP? Microsoft Challenge handshake authentication protocol, CHAP. Oh, handshake, yeah, okay. Yeah. So handshake means, so this is an authentication protocol which has strong encryption, and there was a just MS-CHAP, and now there is MS-CHAP version 2, right? So we can select MS-CHAP version 2, which is the strongest by Microsoft till now, or we can go for allow these protocols. Hey, unencrypted password, PAP, password authentication protocol. If you select this, what happens? Unencrypted password. It's a clear text, not encrypted at all. Hackers will be delighted. They will be your best friend. Maybe not. They will just use your data and you'll be kicked out for something. So yes, this is in extreme case. In very, very extreme case, even then don't do that. Yeah. Even if you're in the extreme case, that your CEO says, I don't have any security measures, I want to connect now for just 1 minute, and maybe he's on phone and somebody's posing with the sound of CEO and you think it's a CEO. So that's what I'm saying. In extreme case, even then don't do that. So he directly says I'm going to fire you if you don't do that. So you'll say, okay, I'm going to sacrifice my job, but I'm not going to do this, PAP. Anyway, okay. So MS-CHAP v2, but let's just select this secure password MS-CHAP v2 with strong encryption. Okay, networking, all okay. So it's going to let you file and print sharing will be enabled. Client from Microsoft, all the Microsoft clients will be able to connect. V6 will be supported when you connect to your VPN. And if you want to share from this, that's a very, very bad idea. Anyway, so if you're connected to a company network, you must have internet already, right? So, and then you can share, hey, all others, I'm connected to my company network and there's internet, so why don't you connect? But I don't know, sharing is there for this one as well, if you want this laptop to be working as a router. So what changes I made? Here, automatic is still there, and I just made this EAP, extensible authentication protocol, MS-CHAP, which has strongest, it is a Microsoft protocol, has strongest encryption by Microsoft till now. Press OK. Does it connect to your VPN or not? To connect or not to connect? That is the answer.
We need to connect.
Let's connect now. Double click or right click and connect, and then click. When you go for password, just give it your most secured, so your domain name / administrator and the password. So in our case, the domain name is my domain / admin1. Don't just blindly copy me. If you have admin1, go for admin1. Mine is administrator. So let's be sharp. Administrator. In my case, in your case, maybe it's admin1. So just go for that. Alright. Press OK. Connected. Connected. This is VPN connection connected. Let's put it to test. First of all, I'm just going to check on my domain controller. Where am I supposed to go to check if the connection has been made? Remote access client. Do you see anything? Refresh, and yes, we do see this connection made. Not NAP capable. NAP is network access protection. NAP is a service which checks the health of every client that has connected to your network. NAP checks the health of every client that is connected to the network, right? So okay, is it showing for everyone? Okay, why not? No, it's not. No, here, remote access client, refresh. It is connected. Not connected. Come on, you brought the samosas today. It should be working fine for you. Everything automatically, even if you don't configure it. Huh? Yeah.
How your laptop at home can be your connecting domain in your office?
So when you make the VPN connection, then automatically the authentication area comes. You have to put certain credentials. there on VPN. On Microsoft VPN, it's always the domain credentials. Or if the inside the VPN you have defined, hey, I'm creating new VPN users, and you must be one of those users. But otherwise, if you haven't defined any users, then VPN will check Active Directory for authentication. Just like in the radius diagram, there was VPN server receiving traffic and then connecting to domain controller to check. So VPN will check always the credentials. Okay guys, first thing for the video, record of the video, it's not over, it has just started now. I need to make sure, is this a real VPN connection? Is this how the it works in a production environment? What's the proof? ipconfig/all. You must have 2 IP addresses. It must be, one IP address is the static IP, second IP address should be the 10.0.0.20, right? ipconfig/all. Okay. So let's go there. Okay, 11 is my, okay, if I go for mark and I'll mark this, 11 is my IP here showing, and then if I go a little up, and there is that 21. Hey, so, and that is coming from my, it says it's a VPN connection, right? So it says that you have been connected through VPN. You must have 2 IP addresses. The first is the local IP addresses that lets you connect to the network. Second is connecting to you, to your network resources. Your Active Directory is in the IP range of 192.168.0.1. Can you ping your 192.168 now? So ping 192.168.0.1. Yes, I can ping. Ping is perfect. I'm pinging from a 10 machine, right? It's a totally different separate range. But VPN connection, after VPN connection, it will let you connect to your, so whichever IP you're coming from, they don't care. It gave you your own IP, which lets you connect to your company resources now. So company resources, my I'm pinging to my company IP address domain controller, and it's working. Yeah, and NS lookup, it should give me the 01 again. Oops, no problem. The remote connection was not made because the attempted VPN tunnels failed. The VPN server might be unreachable to use L2TP. Did you change any setting there? And the firewall is on? Oh yeah, check. What changes did you make here?
The security, I don't know, can use.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yep.
Probably the firewall, because.
Yeah. Guys, those who are not connecting, please check your firewall on your server.
I can't ping.
It's
I
check.
can't ping 10.
No, you should be pinging your company resources now. Company network, which is Active Directory 192.
Before that, I need to have network connectivity.
Yeah, but
I can't ping the VPN server.
it's not going to let you ping. It is rejecting all the packets, ICMP packets. It's just letting VPN packets only come through.
Okay, so it's all turned off.
Yeah. Then it's anyone got an error? Okay. It's an error 800. And when you were creating the VPN connection, what happened? Okay, yeah, put that proper. Did you put the administrator?
Yeah, put that.
Domain and administrator?
Domain, yeah, domain backslash.
And did you do that Active Directory user and computer thing?
Yeah, there was one option.
Yeah, allow access. You did that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it an administrator or admin 1? Okay. Okay, good.
That's it.
Anyone getting error 800? Error 800?
Do you think I've made something here or there's something missing here or something?
720? No. If it's 800, then I'm troubleshooting. Come on. 720 is not acceptable. So.
I put this range, everything here, that's how it's
10.0.0.20. Yeah.
Oh, this should be VPN.
Yeah, this should be.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's not? And why is it not?
Okay, now we try it.
Yep.
I have a question.
Yeah, no problem.
If I just use this command to see what's the content of the
Sorry.